Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Ridauddin bin Abdul Rahman. My matric number is 30DLS22F1048. So today I will present about export and import procedures. So here is table of content. First, Ministry of International Trade of Industry. Second, Malaysian Investment Development Agency. Third, Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Service. Last, Royal Malaysian Custom Department. MITI is government agency responsible for overseeing and promoting international trade and industry within a country. It typically plays a key role in formulating and implementing policies that enhance economic growth, trade, investment, and industrial development. The specific function and responsibilities of MITI can vary depending on the country, but generally. What's MITI do? MITI organize, create and carry out industrial growth, foreign trade and investment program to promote both domestic and foreign investment, to increase bilateral, multilateral and regional trade ties and cooperation in order to support Malaysia's export of manufactured goods and services, to increase the country industrial sector competitiveness and productivity. Rules and regulation. From documentation aspect, for import, bill of lading provided by the carrier, detailing the shipment route and terms. For export, bill of lading is served as a receipt for cargo and a contract between the shipper and the carrier. From licensing aspect, for import license required for specific goods such as pharmaceutical, food products and hazardous materials. For export, secure an export license for goods that are controlled or restricted. The necessity of an export license depends on the types of goods, their destination and the applicable international regulation. MIDA. What is MIDA? Formerly known as the Malaysian Industrial Development Authority, the Malaysian Investment Development Authority, or MIDA for short, is the main government organisation in charge of directing and promoting investment into Malaysia's manufacturing and service sector. What's MIDA do? MIDA encourage both domestic and foreign investment in the manufacturing and service industries, to start planning Malaysia's industrial development, to advise the Minister of International Trade and Industry on industry growth and promotion policies and tactics. Rules and regulation for MIDA. From duties and tax aspect, for import duties, sales tax and service tax must be paid. The rate vary depending on the type of goods. From inspection aspect, goods may be inspected by agencies such as MAKIS, the Royal Malaysian Custom Department, or other regulatory bodies to ensure compliance with local standard and regulation. For export, certain goods may be subject to export duties, which must be paid before the goods are cleared for export. Goods may be subject to inspection by relevant authorities like the Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Services (MAKIS). For agriculture products, or the Department of Environment for Hazardous Materials. MAKIS is Malaysian Quarantine and Inspection Service. It's a regulatory body under the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industry (MAFI) of Malaysia. It is responsible for enforcing laws and regulations related to the quarantine and inspection of agriculture products, food and animal health. What MAKIS do? Function MAKIS is to organize, create and carry out policies for investment, international commerce and industrial development. Next, to promote both local and international investment in order to boost bilateral, multilateral and regional trade contacts and cooperation. Malaysia wants to increase its export of manufactured goods and services. Rules and regulation. Permit requirement. Markis is the resource for importers and exporters to receive the required license, permits and certificates. The legitimate transportation of commodities across Malaysian borders depend on this document. Certification. Markis certifies the product to ensure they adhere to the necessary health and safety regulation. These certificates are essential for exporting and importing goods since they guarantee that they adhere to the laws of the destination nation. Lastly, Royal Malaysian Custom Department. Custom is a government department body under the Malaysian Ministry of Finance. RMCD function as the country's main indirect tax collector, facilitating trade and enforcing laws. What custom do? The Royal Malaysian Custom Department fosters trade, uphold the law and is the primary indirect tax collector in the nation. They levy tax and custom charges which include excise, import, export, sales and service tax. They also collect non-tax revenue, trust funds from the state and tourism-related fees. Rules and regulations for export. Documentation. Similar to import procedures, essential documents for export include the custom export declaration, commercial invoice, bill of lading, packing list and certificate of origin. For custom clearance and declaration, exporters must declare their goods to custom authorities, ensuring compliance with all export regulations and any international trade agreement. Malaysia is part of Malaysia National Trade Repository. For import documentation, essential documents include the custom import declaration, commercial invoice, bill of lading, packing list and certificate of origin. Additional permit may be needed for specific goods such as agricultural products, live animals and chemicals. For custom clearance and declaration, importers must submit the necessary documentation for custom clearance, which involve verifying the legality and compliance of the goods being imported. Lastly, conclusion and recommendation. The import and export process include numerous agencies despite the impression of hassle. Every agency genuinely attempt to improve Malaysia as a nation. For instance, Markis guarantees the safety of agricultural items imported into our nation. Consequently, the significance of each of these organisations to our nation cannot be disputed. It is strongly advised that we show our appreciation for all of their effort and, if at all feasible, try to involve ourselves. To ensure the safety of goods and supply in Malaysia, it is imperative that agencies maintain integrity throughout their operation. So that's all from me. Thank you.